Hi, my name is Sasha. Welcome back to Sash Reads, and this is my Kindle Unlimited TBR. Now I thought I'd show you all the books I have in my Kindle Unlimited. I've got 20 books checked out. Now if you don't know what Kindle Unlimited is, it is a subscription service. I think I pay about $13, $14 a month for. You can borrow up to 20 books and you can return them when you finish them and then borrow another one. It's kind of like a library service, except you gotta pay for it, and it's all ebooks. Not everything is on Kindle Unlimited, there's only a select few. I thought I'd show you what I've got on my Kindle Unlimited at the moment and what I'll be picking up in the next couple of months. I know about some of these books, some of the other books I don't really have any idea, but let's just see how we go. I've got my phone because I usually read on my phone because I don't have a Kindle and my tablet is so slow. Like, I think it's like 10 years old. So first of all, I've got Twisted Love by Anna Huang. This I've had for a very long time. I've started it but I haven't finished it yet. It's not a DNF. I don't think I was right into it at the moment. I really want to get back to it though because it's becoming more and more popular. So this is a brother's best friend romance. The brother is going away and he wants the best friend to look after his sister for her while he's away. That's the gist of that. The second book I have on here is actually a sequel. It's the second book in the series. It's called Feast of Sparks by Sierra Simone. The first book is... oh, what's the first book? Be right back. I thought he was waking up, but he was just making noise in his sleep. Oh yeah, so Feast of Sparks. The first one, which I can't remember. Oh no, what was the first one called? Bear with me. A Lesson in Thorns by Sierra Simone. That was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. And it's about this girl who goes back to this like cottage where she went on holidays with her family, with a bunch of other families when they were younger. And they go back and all the kids are now grown up. And there's some sort of like underlying mystery and it's very sexy and I really enjoyed it. I'm keen to pick up the next one. The next book is Hooked by Emily McIntyre. I believe this is a modern day Peter Pan retelling about Captain Hook, and that's all I know. I think it's a dark romance. All I know is this is making the rounds as well. First I saw it on Riley Marie's channel. Most of these are either from Riley or Jess from Jess X Reads. That's all I really know about the Hooked book. I read a Tink/Hook romance last month and I really enjoyed it, so I'm keen to pick up more. The next book I have is Unhinged by Onley James. This is a Necessary Evils book. Look, I know that this is dark. I believe he's like a serial killer, adopted all these orphans to try and kill people. I think that's what I got from it anyway. That might not be it at all. And then we have Deal with an Elf King by Elise Kova. This is a fantasy romance between this chick and the Elf King. I think that's about it. Yep. Apparently it's really good. Apparently it's a standalone. Then I have Read Between the Lines by Rachel Lacey. This is about a bookstore owner and a reclusive author who love to hate and hate to love each other. So it's hate to love sapphic romance, which I'm always here for. Oh, okay, so we've got the bookstore owner who stuck up a flirty online friendship with a lesbian romance author, Bree. Bree is actually a pen name for Jane Breslin, who works for the family property development business. So Jane's family business terminated the bookstore's lease. Oh, okay, that sounds so good. So yeah, so it's Rosie and Bree, but Bree is Jane and Rosie hates Jane, but Rosie loves Bree. And it's so good. Keen to read that one. The next book I have seen everywhere and I've seen so many people like it except for one person who read it and she didn't like it. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. But so this is Lessons in Corruption, the first book in the Fallen Men series by Gianna Darling. This is a student-teacher romance. The woman is the teacher and the student is the guy. But I heard from Riley, he orchestrated it. So I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. I think too popular for me to ignore it, so that's why I'm gonna pick it up. I have Growing Up Aboriginal in Australia. This is a book I've been reading since January. It's got all these like little stories about people's lives, so Aboriginal lives in Australia, and how they're treated, and it's not very good, like how they're treated. The book is good, like it's like a bunch of memoirs basically. I then have Hate by Tate James. I think this is a reverse harem romance series. I see this a lot everywhere as well, especially in the Australian indie community. I'm not sure about anywhere else, but Tate James is a beloved author, so I thought I should probably pick this up. I then have Black Sunshine by Karina Halley. This was for Jan's book club, I think February's book club pick. It's a vampire novel and I just never picked it up, but I'm really keen to. She really enjoyed it, so that's why I want to pick it up, because I like her recommendations basically. I then have Her Royal Happiness by Lola Keeley. This is another sapphic romance between Princess Alice and the anti-monarchist education specialist Sarah. She's the first out member of the British royal family, and she meets an opinionated single mother. Alice actually asks Sarah to help diagnose her young nephew's learning difficulties. Oh, look, it's like it's fake dating. Alice wants to protect her nephew's privacy, so she's, her and Sarah are gonna fake date. Oh, I love fake dating. So yeah, I've got a couple sapphic romances on my Kindle Unlimited just because sapphic, and also Sapphic-a-thon is like a 1 day a month readathon that happens every month, run by Jessie at Bowties and Books, Jan Agaton. And so I like having sapphic romances on my KU so that when I can just pick it up and read it that day, because it's so much easier to read on my phone these days. When you got 3 kids, you can't really sit down with a book anymore. You just read when you can. This is a recommendation from Jess at JSX Reads on Instagram. It's Feather by Olivia Wildenstein. I think this is an angel romance. I think it's a hate to love. Yeah, I believe it's hate to love because Lee is trying to like save Jared, but Jared doesn't want to be saved. Jared just wants to corrupt her, I think. But Jess really loved it. She talks about it all the time, so I really want to pick it up. That's pretty much any of these books, if you haven't noticed. Next book I have on here is Hellfire by Book Daddy, or Marielle Pomeroy. If you watched my fantasy romance TBR, this was on that. So this is a hate to love romance where this girl, she's lost all her family and she's run to the next court for refuge basically, and the leader of that court is like, you can stay here if you become my servant for like 7 days. And I think it's more like a sexual servant, but it sounds really good. I feel lots of people love it. I've seen this cover and I thought I needed it because this cover is absolutely gorgeous. 5 Rounds by Nikki Castle is the next book on this list. This was for the Gimme All the Spice book club for March, but I never read it, but I still have it because I want to read it. I think it is an enemies to lovers sports romance, which, because it says right there. And 5 Rounds, I think it's about boxing. So keen for more enemies to lovers, as always. This month's Gimme All the Spice book club pick is The Pawn and the Puppeteer. Yeah, The Pawn and the Puppet by Brandy Elise Zecker. Okay, so it looks like a psychologist slash patient. I don't know, but we've got Skylana, what a name, who's hired at the Emerald Lake Asylum. And she's trying to prove to the council that the barbaric treatments such as waterboarding, scalding baths and beatings are no longer the answer. But that all takes pause when she meets the source of the terror in the asylum, a patient with a split personality. On one side, he's a bloodthirsty genius, Dessen. On the other, a hidden persona that is buried deep in his subconscious. Okay, this is about the romance between those two. That sounds different. Flock by Kate Stewart. I've been seeing everywhere. The quotes I've been hearing sound so good. I've seen lots of people cry at the second book. Oh, it's a modern day take on Robin Hood. It's an unconventional love story, bad boys / anti-heroes, filled with suspense, steam, major twists, a little action, and all of the feels. Yeah, I've seen everyone talk about this, and like all their reactions just made me want to obviously get hurt, because it sounds like it's gonna hurt me. The next book on this list is Praise by Sarah Kate. I believe this is an ex-boyfriend dad romance, and he's also her new boss. So we've got age gap, forbidden, taboo, whatever you want to call it. I read Gravity by Sarah Kate last month and enjoyed it a lot. I just love my ex-boyfriend's dad's romance, so I'm here for it. And then I was feeling a bit like reading a single dad romance. I was going to read Nordic King by Karina Halley, but that's not on KU. But One Hot Italian Summer is. Oh, it's another Karina Halley book. It's about this author who's got writer's block. So she rents out her agent's villa in Tuscany. But it looks like the agent's ex also lives there, and we've got a romance between those two. I don't know, I just felt like reading a single dad romance, that's why that's on there. I have Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. This is a dark romance that I've seen Riley Marie talk about and rave about the last couple of months. So from what I gather, it's about, so there's a serial killer going around, and they the serial killer captures couples who like aren't in a relationship, and then like ties them up together and like tortures them basically for months until they fall in love, and then kills them. I think that's the gist of it. And the couple that the serial killer takes is this chick and her sister's fiance, I believe. It doesn't actually say that in the blurb, so I'm not quite sure, but I'm getting into dark romance, so I thought I'd pick it up. And then last but not least, I have A Throne of Ruin by K.F. Breen. This is the second book in her dark fantasy fairy tale books. The first book was A Ruin of Roses, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, which I finished last night. So yes, I need to pick the next one up. Not because I loved the first one, just because I need to know what happens next, and hopefully the writing gets better. But yeah. And it's Dragon Shifter. Anyway, so that's all the books that I have on my Kindle Unlimited at the moment. Let me know what you've got on your Kindle Unlimited, or what book you think I should pick up first, or what books I should borrow next. Definitely hit me up. Let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more from me. Don't forget you can add me on Goodreads and Instagram. I'm all at Sasha Reads. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you next time. Bye!